Hello, YouTube. Welcome to another instant analysis. This time for the new FES banner that was released a little under 24 hours ago. We are going to start with the SRs right now. The first is CDCS Rena. Max limit break, 9200 base appeal, 4600 base stamina, 7109 base technique, 21% crit rate, which is whatever. Voltage boost tap active, again on SRs this voltage boost tap active is kind of meh. Passive, the same attribute appeal buff, 3.2% for other smile cards. Live show active, when appeal chance starts, buff effective appeal by 3.8% for the next 5 notes. Applies to smile cards. And so this is a guaranteed LSA for the first 5 notes of the appeal chance. It's only a 3.8% appeal boost for other smile cards, so it's kind of meh. It's whatever. But there are a couple things I want to point out with this card. First of all, this right here, the 9200 base appeal. Okay? Now, if we're talking about SRs, oh, whoops. If we're talking about SRs only, this Rena now has the highest base appeal out of any SR in the game. And crazily enough, a lot of these cards have been recently released, right? CDCS Rena, CDCS Emma, Song for Yu 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 Hanayo, Mirai Boku Kanan, Yu Yu Kotori, Call for Dream Setsuna, right? All 6 of these cards have just recently, like within the last 10 weeks, has been released. But here's the thing. When you look at all of these cards, right, there is a very big thing that happens with a lot of these cards to essentially kind of balance them out. Rena, attribute buff. Emma, attribute buff. This Pana, self-tech buff. Kanan, attribute buff. Kotori, school buff. Setsuna, school buff. Right? All these cards, all these other 6 cards only have a max 3.2% appeal increase. Then we go back to old reliable. And by old reliable, I mean Snow Halation Kotori. Snow Halation Kotori, right, only has about 500 less appeal than CDCS Rena. However, she has a 7% self-appeal increase. Which means she actually, after you add on the passive, she is actually still all the way up here when she's in the top 3 when it comes to base appeal at max limit break when you include passives. Don't even get me started on bond board and bond board bonus, bond levels and bond board bonuses. Now, granted, right, Kotori does have a voltage boost tap active, which is weaker for SRs, but I still think that overall this is probably the best SR in the game still. Even though it doesn't have the highest base appeal, I still think Snow Halation Kotori is one of, if not the best SR in the game. Secondly, this Rena, the card is misnamed, in my opinion. Because if Rena is sitting here with Mia, why would Rina-chan board say holy moly? If we have learned anything from Mia, Rina-chan board would not say holy moly, she would say holy shit. Right? If she has learned this much from Mia, she would just be like, holy shit. Now, I get that you cannot put that on a card, but it would have been hilarious if they did. Instead of putting holy moly, if you just put holy star, 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 I think that would have been so much more funny as a card. Anyway, this card is pretty... Yes, like that. Thank you, Hot Rod. Anyway, this card is good. Deactable for it? No. But is it a good card? Yeah. For an SR, it's a good card. Secondly, Mirai Boku Rico. Natural attribute guard type card 62, 72, 88, 90, 56, 44. Stamina healer, okay. Base stamina just for herself, 7%. And then, for the first time in a long time, a live show active that activates when you fail the appeal chance. 50% chance to activate after failing an appeal chance. Restore 20% of this card's stamina. Now, is this LSA any good? No. Right? Because you don't like having live show actives and abilities tied to failing something. But, I mean, you know, of course, Rico Oshis are going to try and get this card, so, you know, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Now, we have to go to the main event, right? The URs, that's what you're here for. First UR, Animism Messenger Nozomi. Which, I mean, right? Looks like her, you know, classic Shrine Maiden garb, right? Natural attribute, voltage type, at max limit break, 14,218 base appeal, 6589 base stamp, 13,872 tech, 41% crit rate at max limit break. Tap active. Tap active is appeal increase 7.6% for the next 5 notes for cards in her strategy. Which, you know, for Advanced Plus stuff is good. Right? For Advanced Plus, getting appeal increases for your strategy, very good. Passive. I also like the passive. 5 to 7% base appeal increase in addition to a 3.5% max technique increase for cards in the strategy. And finally, the live show active, which I will note, this live show active, when you read it, reads very, very weird. So it says, on tap, this card's turn, buff voltage gain up by 2.5% for 3 notes applies to this card strategy. So what the hell does that mean? So it means every time that this Nozomi taps, she is guaranteed to give you a 2.5% voltage gain increase for the next 3 notes for cards in her strategy. But this is actually just a long-winded way of saying at the start of the live, give this Nozomi's strategy a 2.5% voltage gain increase. That's all this live show active is. Okay? And yes, as Clown says, amazing for Barada Plus, but from what I've heard, Second Fest Madu does her job better. And here's why. Okay? If we were to sort out URs in the natural attribute of any type with a max appeal greater than 14,000, you end up with 3 cards. You end up with Third Fest Kanon, you end up with Second Fest Nozo, and you end up with Second Fest Maru. Now, if you look at all 3 of the cards, right? Let's look at passives first, right? Let's look at tap actives first. Tap actives, right? Nozomi has the superior tap active, especially when we're thinking about Advanced Plus stuff. which is what you're kind of looking at this kind of card for, right? Appeal increases. Appeal boosting tap actives are great for that kind of stuff, right? Whereas Maru and Kanan both have voltage boost tap actives, which are not as great. But, again, let's go back to the passives now, right? Maru, same strategy. Nozo, hybrid appeal and tech for same strategy. Kanan has the weakest passive, which is just a same attribute appeal buff. Here's where it gets bad. Live show actives. Kanan, guaranteed 2.5% appeal increase. That's good, right? That's a good, consistent, guaranteed live show active. Nozo, essentially a 2.5% voltage gain increase for the entirety of the live when, you're using this Nozo in your main formation, right? And we can all agree, right? Voltage gain as a tap active is actually worse than an appeal increase. Finally, we have Maru, right? Who has, every time you pass an appeal chance, increase base appeal for this card strategy by 0.8%. And so in the Discord last night, I was talking about this, right? Maru's live show active actually scales as the song goes on, right? You continuously get this appeal increase, right? So for a song like Borarara, right? Borarara Plus, where you have, I already forget how many appeal chances are. 8 live show active, or 8 appeal chances, right? By the end of the song, Hanamaru is giving you a 6.4% appeal increase to her entire strategy. 6.4%. That's a lot. That's like 3 passives, right? That's 3 insights, right? That's 3 medium strategy insights that she's giving to her strategy, but in the form of a live show active, right? And when you consider that Maru's appeal is slightly higher than Nozo's, right? And let's, even if we were to assume, right, this tap active always cycles, right? It always stays active. It's hard to, right? Because it's only a 33% chance. 33% of the song, you're getting a 7.6% increase. So you divide this by 3, you're looking at a 2.5% net kind of appeal increase in your strategy. Well, by, 1/3 or 1/4 of the song through on like something like Borarara Plus, well, now you already have that effective 2.5% appeal increase with Second Fest Maru. So while I like the Nozo card, like the appeal up and the tech up, like this Nozo card is really good if if you don't have Maru or Kanan, or even like, let's say Second Fest Rin, like this card is a good card if you don't have like a natural attribute score for like an advanced plus song. But unfortunately, because of her kit, Maru will still end up scoring better. And that is unless like you have a very, very large bond disparity between Nozo and Maru. So example, like let's say you have a bond 220, bond board 120 Nozo, and like a bond level 105 Hanamaru, right? There's a big enough difference there where it matters, right? But if the bond levels are a little bit closer, you have to go with the stronger card. It's a shame Nozo has to compete with Maru in any other attribute. I feel like she would be looked at a lot more favorably. I agree, right? Because spoilers for the video, by the way. We talk about advanced, plus in the video that's coming out on Saturday. Basically a couple hours after I put this video out. And one of the things about Advanced Plus is that, right, appeal boosting tap actives, voltage gain tap actives are normally better for Advanced Plus than they are on Advanced, right? Because the cap on Advanced Plus is tap cap on Advanced Plus is a lot harder to achieve. But the thing is, there are going to be a lot more people that have a higher bond level Hanamaru than will have a higher bond level Nozo. And that's a pretty big problem. And again, Maru's live show active just scales a lot better than Nozo. So, is Nozo a good card? Yes. Would I personally scout for? Nah. But if you are missing a good natural attribute score, you can definitely scout for this. Finally, the second card of the FES banner is Splash Mermaid Emma. Splash Mermaid Emma, who at max limit break has 13,325 appeal, great. 14,350 stamina, which is great considering that she's a pure attribute guard type card. But her technique is under 6,500. 6,491. Now, the reason why this is very concerning, right, is her tap active. Her tap active is a hybrid tap active. It is an appeal increase by 4.5% for the next 5 notes, and a 20% stamina heal to, a 20% stamina heal every time her tap active goes off. And yes, she has a lot of stamina, so this heal is going to be big. But again, right, because this is a hybrid tap active, right, this card isn't going to heal as much, right? Because your normal FES healers are going to heal for 42% of their stamina. This tap active is basically cuts it in half as far as healing goes. Then we have her passive, which is a stam up all, 4.2% increase to everybody. And then the live show active, which not many people are going to pay attention to, is upon strategy switch, guaranteed for the first 10 times during your live, increase appeal by 10% for 5 notes, only applies to other pure cards. Which essentially means, right, this live show active is dead. Right? It's essentially dead. It's not very good. Now, here's the biggest problem with the card. Right here. Emma has a technique of 6491, good for a 19% crit rate. Here is why this is a problem, even though Emma has 13,000, I repeat, 13,000 base appeal. If we look at all other guard cards with over, let's say, 9,000 appeal, right? We see a lot of cards that actually are pretty recent, right? The current event Hanamaru, right? 13,668. Upcoming FES Emma, 13,325. The job Honoka, right? Dr. Honoka, 11,274. Carnival Daya, 11,270. Kindernon, 11,244. This is like an older card, right? Also, Rain Blossom Ayumu, right? 10,600. Tanabata Rin, 10,118. Vampire Rico, 9944. Yoha, 9944 as well. The Valentine's one. Right? Now, here's the thing with a lot of these cards, right? After we get past this top row of the top 3 appeal cards, right? Look at this. Under 20%, under 20%, a little over 20%. Right? Maru and Emma actually have the same base technique, which is why they have the same crit rate, which is kind of scary. we go down to this second row. Daya, 11,270 base appeal, but she has a 54% crit rate. Dress up. Thank you. Thank you, Marth. Kindernon, 11,244 with a 53% crit rate. Ayumu, 10,600 but 13,000 tech for a 55% crit rate. Tanabatarin, 50% crit rate. Dress Up Yoha, 53% crit rate. Do you see what I'm trying to say here? A lot of these cards that are ending up seeing a lot of use in Advanced Plus have not only do they have good appeal values for guard type cards, they actually also have a crit profile. And they're, so they're able to score when you have to, if you have to switch to them or if you keep them as your main sustain card in, like Kindernon, Sweet Eyes, right? Having this type of scoring potential with your quote-unquote sustain cards is massive. Which is why everybody's going to look at the Emma card and go, oh my god, look at her great base appeal value. But in the long run, when you compare her to cards like Kindernon, to cards like Tanabatarin, to cards like Dress Up Yoha, this Emma is actually going to score less on average than even these regular gacha cards. Because look at this. All of these cards that are around Emma with, the same or less base appeal are all gacha cards. There is not a single FES card to be found here. Right? And she has one of the lowest tech values. So this, as far as card design goes and what Emma Oshis were hoping for, this unfortunately is a whiff. If you're an Emma Oshii and you want the card because of the art and because she's splashing around in the water or whatever, by all means, go ahead. But is the card going to be useful for like any sort of like competition type voltage ranking SBL or whatever? No, it's not. You're going to see a lot more people run other types of cards than this Emma. This Emma, unfortunately, is basically just going to be for costume, and that's it. The best card out of the banner, honestly, is either going to be Nozo or even Holy Shit Rena, right? Like, the Holy Shit Rena is probably actually the better, is the second best card on this banner, and that's saying something. But yeah, am I going to scout on this banner? No. If you have enough gems to spark and you're waiting for meta cards, should you pull on this banner? Should you spark on this banner? Don't spark. Like, yes, do your daily pay gem, your 10 daily pay gem pull, but as far as sparking for this banner, not about it. Not about it. I wouldn't advise it. All right. And that's going to be it for us, YouTube. Thank you so much for watching this instant analysis video. Feel free to join us on Twitch, twitch.tv/IamTheShaz. And hopefully, we'll see you guys next time. Take it easy, everyone. Bye.